All right, everybody, welcome to the call this week. It is April, 27th, 26th, sorry, a day early.
I was going to say.
We are almost at the end of another month, which just blows my mind. I don't know how this year is going by so fast, but I just quickly want to point out that we are almost 4 complete months into the year, which means we are more than a quarter, means we are a third done with this year. So that's crazy. But if you have some goals that you want to hit, definitely keep that in mind that, we may think we have a lot of time by the end of this year, but a third of the year is already gone, which is just crazy. So definitely keep that in mind. Am I echoing for you guys too?
No.
No? Okay, it must just be me. Anywho, we have an awesome guest, not only guest speaker, but some guests as well from her team. So Carrie has so graciously agreed to share some of her tips and what she does to have such great success in this business. She's really only been doing this for how long?
It was a year in February.
A year in February. Okay, I was going to say a little over a year. So that's awesome. And she is totally crushing it. I don't have your specific, we just know how long you've been doing this for, but where are you in rank and stuff like that. So I'll let you kind of share all of that information and what got you started. But she currently is at, or actually by now may even have surpassed Success Club 30 for this month. So clearly this girl is doing amazing. But what I love most about her is her heart in that, okay, that's a great number, and we would all love to hit that number, but the reason she's doing that is because she's real. She has a good heart in this. She really wants to help people, and no wonder so many people are coming to you. So I commend you for that, and that's amazing, and I can't wait to hear what you have to share with us.
Thanks. So I started last.
Oops, sorry. Oh my gosh, I just muted you. My bad. I hit the wrong button.
Okay. I'm a mom of 3. I struggled to lose weight after number 3. I've always been, I always considered myself fit. I played Division I field hockey in college, and I just strive off of workouts and being fit. And so after having number 3 and not being able to lose that weight, I just felt stuck. I didn't feel right. And I wasn't eating right. And I randomly met Liz Teamy, who's my coach now. A friend of mine said, hey, this girl's doing a clean eating group. Do you want to jump in? And I had no idea what that meant. And I knew I needed to lose weight. And it was my mission. This was the very last week of January of that year. So I had set to myself that, that was my New Year's resolution. So I jumped into this group and I lost 6 pounds in those 5 days. So I immediately said to Liz, what's the next step? So she mentioned the 21-day fix and Shakeology. And I didn't even want to do Shakeology. I had my own protein, but she talked about the whole money back guarantee. And I'm a stay-at-home mom now of 10 years. I used to be a teacher. And when I had the twins, we decided that I would stay home because it was going to cost $30,000 to put them in daycare. And I've always wanted to stay home anyways, but I was making $50,000 at the time. So it just didn't make sense. So I was a stay-at-home mom completely for 2 years, and then money really got tight. So I started, I went back to waitressing. I had done that in college. I was doing that 2 nights a week. So when my husband got home, I was able to do that, and it helped make ends meet. But as the kids got older and they go, both my older kids play hockey and tuitions got really expensive. We were really scraping money together. And it got to the point that my husband was like, you really need to consider going back for finishing your master's and going back to teaching. And I didn't want that. Nathan's 3, my little, and I wanted to be home for him. I was home for the other 2. And I just didn't want to go back to teaching. I just hear things from teacher friends now that are don't go back. It's not worth it. So when I was in this community of her clean eating group and just saw all these people pitching in. I just loved being in there. I was a coach for 10 years before I had Nathan, field hockey coach for high school kids. And I just thrive off of competition. I grew up with two brothers, so I'm a very competitive person. And so being in this group just felt like a community again. It just, I don't know, brought me back to life. And so I kind of was thinking like, I'm doing this Shakeology thing, so I need to go in for the discount. But it was in the back of my head, like, I want to do this. And so maybe the first week in, I said to Liz and Stephanie is Liz's coach, like, okay, I want to do this. Like, what do I need to do? And so right away, it was the 4 vital behaviors. So this to me is like when Jackie said, do you want to come on and be a guest speaker? I'm like, I have like nothing, like I don't do anything different. I feel like I'm doing what I was told. And so I didn't wait for them to give me things. Like I just constantly every day was messaging the two of them, asking questions. I was going on to YouTube. Stephanie is very about like, try to figure the answer out for yourself, which is good. Like it made me research stuff. So I would go into YouTube and Coach Caleb, I would watch all his videos. I'm trying to think who else I would go into YouTube, but I would just YouTube like different things and I would just watch all these videos. And I was like the type that would sit on my couch from like 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock and watch the Housewives and all that stuff. And I just became addicted. And my DVR is 100% full now. I'm like thinking of getting rid of cable because I just dove in. And I asked coaches before I jumped on this call, like, what do you think? Hi, Heather. Like if you had one word to describe why you think I'm successful, what it would be. And a lot of them are saying like passionate. And I do, I just love it. I don't consider this a job. I can't believe I'm actually making money off of this. It's just crazy to me. So number one, I would say for my success would be consistency. I became an emerald, I think, in my first week of coaching, and I just started putting myself out there. I never thought that I was going to do that. I said, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be judged. I said all those things that we all say. And my coaches were great about it. They were like, if you don't want to do it, like do what makes you feel comfortable. But then, like if I sit back, like this is the type of job that you have to give your all. You have to put yourself out there. Like nobody's going to come to me. So I became emerald like in the first week. And then I started coaching in February. I hit diamond in May. I joined that first diamond dash. So that was the other thing. Like I just get involved in anything that's put in front of me. People put it in front of me, I'm doing it. So I did that diamond dash that year. I'm in the diamond dash now because I'm trying to get my husband to diamond. So I've been sitting at diamond for almost a year now, and I'm like, trying to push for that 1 star. So I have my husband like all set up. I just need one more emerald on his right side, and I'm qualifying as of tonight for that 1 star. So I'm super excited. So consistency. A lot of my coaches said that I'm real and authentic, and I really, truly appreciate that. And I feel like it does come from my heart. I want to help people. I was a coach. I was a teacher. I just feel like it's in me. I have the right brain, not the left brain. I'm totally unorganized, but I'm just like a passionate person. I just pour my heart into something that I truly like. So I love this. I do at least 4 posts a day. I'm a Facebook girl. I get called the dinosaur. I'm 38. So a lot of technology stuff I have to ask my younger coaches for help with. I'm learning Instagram. I'm trying to get into some training to do better with that. And I post on Instagram at least 3-4 times a day, and I'm getting better with my hashtags. I'm just not reaching out to people in it yet because I haven't needed to. I started a like page right before I became a diamond. I have that at a little over 1,000 likes. And I've been forming in there now with people. When they like one of my posts, I share them. I send the like button for them to like my page. And then I immediately friend request them. And then if they accept the friend request, I send them a little message and just start forming with them. I never go right into the Beachbody opportunity because I wouldn't want somebody to come to me like that. When Roden and Fields reps, some different people, MLMs come to me like that, it's icky. So I want to form with them, and I want to see if this is something that they're interested in. And once we start forming and, they start asking questions, then I go in and give them more of, what this opportunity has to offer. I keep myself in front of people all the time. I started with live videos on my own coach page and in our challenge groups. I'm totally comfortable with that. Going live on my page, I feel comfortable with. I don't know, because it's like an audience I don't know there. But going live on my personal page has been tough for me. And I've just, in the last month, come out of my shell with that one. And I feel like I'm doing a better job with it. But it's so important to do if you really want to grow the business. And I've totally gotten the attitude, these people aren't paying my bills. They're not going to help get rid of my credit card debt. And I haven't had any negative feedback. So all that negative stuff is in my head. And the personal development, I listen to PD at least 20 minutes a day. And I listen to it because I don't have time to read. In my car. Usually it's always in my car. Or if I'm cleaning the house, I have a Bluetooth speaker. And I blast it up and clean my house and listen to it. And I try to keep a notebook nearby to take notes, because there's so many good quotes that you can use for posts. And a lot of times if I'm driving, I'll hold down the Siri button and ask her to take a note so I can go back to those quotes later. So I think I have a million that I need to go back to. Or I'll screenshot where I am on the audiobook so I can go back and listen to that part again and take some notes.
I need to interrupt you for a second.
Yep.
Use Audible by chance?
I'm going to start to. I have iTunes.
Okay, because I'm wondering, I did not know Siri can make you a note.
Yeah.
When you ask her to do that, what does she do?
I just hold it down and say.
Does she make a note of the last?
Make a note.
Okay, I can take that note for you. Just tell me what you wanted to say.
Remind me to go to the bathroom at 9:00 tonight.
Creating your note. Noted.
And it's there.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking, because in Audible you can actually do a clip at the bottom, right? And it records the previous 30 seconds. And then
that's cool.
So I love that. But for some reason, when you said Siri makes a note, I had in my head that she does that. I'm like, oh, that's the coolest thing ever. But that's actually awesome, because when you're driving,
yes,
you can't do that. So
yep. Sorry
to interrupt, but that's such a
no. Yeah. And I learned that from someone, because I'm a dinosaur and I don't know anything. So I use Teamsy. I started using that in December. I am the most unorganized person. I have this notebook from when I first started, and it's just filled, but there's nothing organized in it. And then I got 2 notebooks this year, and I was so proud of myself. So I have potential forming customers. There's 5 of them in there, and then I have this other notebook which was supposed to be for something else, and I have forming customers in there. So I'm just all over the place. I am not type A at all. So I need Teamsy. I 100% need it. It helps keep me organized. You can, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but you can set it up there to follow up with people. So after I've sent them a message, I can hit the follow up in 2 days, 4 days, 5 days. And that's been the biggest win for me, because every day a follow up will come up and I'll be like, oh my God, I completely forgot about this person. If I didn't have Teamsy, I wouldn't have remembered. And I'm sure I've lost a lot of people because I forgot about them in the past. The difference between Teamsy and the new BAT that Beachbody's come out with is there's no recognition in Teamsy. But recognition is just something that's instilled in me. I think as a coach, I always had a player of the day. I always had a player of the week. In my classroom, I always recognize students. So it's just something that's in me. Liz, my coach, who's the most wonderful person in the world, and I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for her. It's just not something that comes to her. So now having the BAT, where it actually says recognize people, she's taken that to the next level. So it's totally, and she just said this today, that she now has people messaging her on the side saying wow, your team is really successful. And she's like, well, our team has always been successful, but people don't realize that because she wasn't sharing it. And so, yeah, so we see other coaches all the time posting about their team and we're like, wow, they're really successful. But if you think about your own team, like, yeah, you have your own success too. It's just your own way of sharing it. So I think it's huge to recognize people. Absolutely huge. Everyone appreciates it. I found a success partner pretty early. She happens to be on Fit Mama. It's Erica Cray. Love her. We're two very different people, but very similar in some ways. We talk at least once a week and just kind of, like, what are your goals this week? What do you want to get accomplished? Like, we kind of just, set each other up for success. So it's great having her there. And it's nice seeing somebody else's point of views from another team. So she'll throw me into her groups and I'll throw her into my groups. And we just share. It's just nice to have someone on another team sharing different ideas. So I think a success partner is absolutely necessary and great to have. I do the Lacey calls. I've been a little bit, once you hit diamond, you can go on Lacey Larson calls. And I was on those every week when I first signed up. I've been a little bit more laxed on those because my plate's so full now with everything, like getting SC30 this month. I have so many new people to follow up with and make sure that they're set up for success. So I haven't been as good with those, but in the beginning, they were very, very helpful. So anything that came my way, I jumped on. I did the Josh Coates training, wasn't a huge fan of him, but at least I can say that I did it and I tried it. I'm all for any type of training that people recommend that are thrown my way. Again, YouTube, I follow successful coaches. I have a bunch of coaches written down in my notebook from when I very first started. I have names here. So if I'm ever, I know it's like so cheesy, but if I'm ever lost for words one day, I'll just, let's see what's she doing today. And I just go on her page and kind of just scroll through stuff and just get some inspiration and then put it in my own words. So that's for my consistency. A next thing that I think makes us so successful is our challenge groups. We have over 200 women in it right now. We tried, when Liz and I first, because Liz basically really started coaching when I did too, that we did our challenge groups together. Like, we were in with Stephanie and there was probably like 7 or 8 coaches in there. And then Liz and I were like, let's go off on our own and do this on our own. So we did it on our own for a while. And then our team started to grow and we started to do it with them. And then it started to get really big. So we're like, maybe we need to make this, there's crickets in the group and stuff. And we're like, maybe it's too many people and they're overwhelmed. So then we kind of all broke off and then we came together and then we broke off again. And now we're like, you know what? It doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. So we like doing it together. All of us are in this group now. If you have challengers in it, then you're posting at least 3 or 4 times throughout the month. We take turns. We have a rotation going. We set up a calendar. So like Carrie has day 1, Liz has day 2, Faith has day 3, Jessie has day 4. And we have this calendar and you just know when your day is. And we have a general theme in there where you post 4 times a day. One is about your workout, and we don't just say post your sweaty selfie, but we try to give some kind of educational background about why working out is important. We talk about food, for like Cinco de Mayo, we'll give like some, like a healthy recipe, a healthy drink recipe, and then people will post all their food under there for the day. We try to do some sort of a motivational post, whether we go live and just like give them a pep talk or find something on YouTube, sometimes we'll take like Coach Toolin, who's got, lost like a ton of weight for our plus size people in the group. Just something motivational, some sort of a post. And then the 4th one, what's our 4th one, guys? We do daily deliberations. So we say, do you have a question? Post it here today. Is there a non-skill victory you want to share about? Is there just anything that's on your mind that has nothing to do with these other 3 posts that you want to ask? Post here. So they know what to expect. For me, when I sign on a new challenger, I like to have a phone call. I've just started doing this in the last couple months. Makes it way more personal. They hear your voice. You connect to them more. To them, it's like you're not you're not, just trying to make money. Like, you're actually in this to help them. And when they hear your voice, they genuinely feel that, and it makes them want to stay on longer when they connect with you. So that, you try to make it like you're not here for 1 month, like you're here for the group. We have sorry, I'm jumping all over the place, but I can share this with you guys too. We have a graph that we made that says, because we have people that come to us saying, I already own the 21-day fix. And before, we would just let them in the group. And now we do, but we give them this chart. It's a graph. It's like the graph goes up. So there's 3 levels. So the first level to get in the group is you already own a program, but they can't be working with another coach. Like, they have to switch to us to get in. Or they do the free 30-day trial. And there, it says right there, it's a free 30-day trial. Like, you're in here for 30 days. You get the menus and the recipes and the motivation from the group. Then from there, if you want to go forward with us, you need to take it to the next level. So the middle level is getting the all access $99 for a year. And that gives them access to the group for a year, because we have this group open forever now. We just keep adding people to it. So I think we're at 210 challengers. And then the third level brings it up to the challenge pack. And this would give them one-on-one coaching, where I check in with them sometimes every other day, but definitely weekly. I check in with them. And I send them, so after the phone call, and I have a series of questions that I ask while we're on the phone call. And they know that I have like this paper in front of me and I'm asking questions. And I can share these with you too. Again, I'm very unorganized, so I don't know where my questions are. But basically, here we go. I talk to them about their family and like what their job is, so I can find out when they'll have time to fit in their 30-minute workout. I ask them what their goals are. And they're always saying, like, I want to lose weight. And then I ask them their why. Well, why do you want to lose weight? So get into those questions with them. I ask them what their favorite style workout is, so I can try to find what workout is going to work for them. I ask about their current eating habits. I ask what they think the hardest part of this is going to be for them. And then I ask, and Jen O talked about this in her call not too long ago, that she asks for a commitment. So on the phone, I actually say to them now, like, okay, before we get up, like, I want a verbal commitment from you. Can you give me 30 days? I said, because a lot of times people are really excited, like, you're gung-ho right now, you want to do this, and you're showing up in group, and then a week goes by and you're gone. So I don't want you throwing your money out the door. Like, I want a verbal commitment that you're going to be here for 30 days. And so far, everyone has said yes. So it's nice to get that from them. Once they've signed up, I then send them a new coach letter. Some of the questions are kind of repetitive. I ask these questions again. Some are a little bit different in this letter, and they need to get that back to me. Within the letter, it says that I expect them to show up to group at least once a day. They don't have to put a picture in there of themselves if they're not comfortable with it, but they need to comment. They need to show up every day. And if they're not, then I'm going to message them on the side and be like, okay, where are you? Like a little slap on the hand. In that letter, if they've signed up like a week before the new group is going to start, or a week or two before the new group is going to start, I attach, we have at the top of our page a pinned post, and in the pinned post is a challenger guidebook. And that in there gives them like the top 10 of how to be successful in the group, like taking your pictures, the measurements, the 21-day fixed app. I can send this stuff to you guys too. I'm trying to think what else is in that top 10. Within that book, we have a bio of each of us coaches. There's an album in there that gives our picture with a little description of us. We put some YouTube videos in there, like Autumn Calabrese eating your containers. What if it's too much food? What if I'm starving? Like a couple of her YouTube clips that are really important for new people. We have those in there so they can look at those, or they're there for us if we just need to copy and paste them to them sometime. What else is in there? The top 10 just goes over like what to expect in the challenge group. Am I missing anything, guys, for that guidebook? I can go through it all. I'm sorry. Jackie contacted me on like Sunday. My husband's away, so I like really didn't have any time to put a lot together, but I can share all this stuff after the fact.
I don't even think it was Sunday. I literally think it was Sunday. I think
okay.
It was Sunday. I didn't give you like any time, so that is totally fine.
Okay. We do fun challenges in the group. Our groups last 30 days, so we probably do 3 or 4 challenges where we'll do like the squat water challenge. Every time you're drinking water, you're posting in there, and when you pee, you have to do, I don't know if you guys have heard this one before, you have to do 10 squats after you pee, right? We've done a plank challenge, like trying to improve your time. I think we did that every other day to give like your arms a rest. Just little challenges to make it fun, change it up, because we have some people that have been in here for a year now with us, repeating challenges. So we want to make it fun for them too. We want to make it different, try to jazz it up. We're not like copying, pasting things from the past. We do a player of the week, now we're up to like 3 players of the week because there's so many. We do like a little picture in Canva where we put their 3 pictures of 3 players of the week with their name under it, and then we put it in the group and give like a little description like congratulations to so-and-so, and kind of give like 3 or 4 sentences of like what they really did well that week and acknowledge them. They appreciate it just as much as we appreciate recognition. We have a challenger album. So when they're new to the group, they go into the challenger album, they add their picture, and they give a bio of themselves, way to introduce themselves to the group. And everyone just goes in and comments on that. It's like really nice, like welcome into the group, just makes them feel good to be a part there. Just today we did a referral post. So one of our coaches went in and had a picture of a bunch of us coaches like holding a flashcard with our job on it. So like we have teachers in the group, Jesse put grad student, we have a realtor in the group. And so we asked them if they felt comfortable doing this, that in the future, like the next week, we want to make a post about them, like saying how awesome they are. And we want to share this with everyone on Facebook to say like, hey, look at these working moms, like they find 30 minutes to get it done. And so maybe this is going to inspire or like save somebody else's life. So if you feel comfortable doing this, can you take a picture of yourself holding what your job is? And we're going to tag you in that post. So always just trying to think of different things. I think that's it for our challenge groups. And I think it's good that we have like 10 different coaches in there posting. So it's a different perspective. Like people can relate to, different personalities. So maybe somebody that signed up through me relates to Jessie better than me and like communicates with her on the side. That's been going on with a few challenges that they message with other coaches. Hey, what's ever going to help people, I'm all for it. No problem with that at all. And then my third thing would be for just, for why I think we're successful is our coaches, our team. Somebody messaged me earlier saying like, you attract our tribe, like you do. Like I put out there what I want in hopes that what I'm going to get. And like our group just gels so well together. We do weekly calls. For the most part, everybody tries to jump on it. We try to strategize on our team calls and come up with different things to make our challenge group better. Answer questions. I'm sure that you guys do that kind of stuff. We have a messenger group going with all of us. It's called Shining Diamonds because that's Liz's name for her team. So we're constantly on Messenger, like a million messages a day. Like some people that work full-time jobs, they'll get out of their jobs and be like 100 messages, guys, really? Like, is there something important in here that I really have to read? We do get-togethers. Just today, 2 of my coaches came to my house and we worked for like 3 hours and our kids played. We're all, not all of us, but I think there's 6 of us doing the Shanti thing on Sunday at Mohegan Sun. We have a team like dinner meeting that we set up in May for all of us to get together. Faith's in Iowa, so unfortunately she won't be coming, but people that are in the local area, we try to do fun stuff like that with each other. We have like a couple races coming up in the community. So a bunch of us are like signing up for races together. And we share everything with each other. Like running a 5-day Shakeology group coming up. Like, I have the time, I can do it. I've done it a bunch now. So I just, spit it out to them like, hey, I'm running this group. You get your people in it and I will run the group. You just show up and like, check in on them. But I try to do that stuff as much as possible. Clean eating groups, stuff like that. A lot of people will partner up and do them together. Liz and I have ongoing free groups now, so it's never going to end. So we just keep adding and adding people into it. I've kind of been taking like a week break and then starting another one up because it is a lot to like keep it going. But I still try to post in there like once a day just to give, just to be active and give something. But it takes me 2 seconds to do that. So I'm doing a sugar detox group next week. I kind of like, I'll throw polls out there now and ask like an audience, and it gets like a ton of traction. Like I'll say ABC, what do you want? And then that way I can kind of start communicating with those people too that respond to it. What else? I'll give tasks. Like Heather, I don't know if she's still on the call, but like she's very good with, she wants to be successful. So she'll say, what can I do? So I'll give tasks. I have 3 brand new coaches that are kind of like in the same age. So I have them on a messenger together, and like just today I sent them a message like, hey, you need to be a product of the product. Like I do it nicely. I'm not being a jerk, but like you guys need to show up to the challenge group. Like you guys are coaches now and you need to be a product of the product, and you're going to have people in this group eventually. So get comfortable with it now. So just like giving them things that are going to help make them successful. Faith now will listen to the calls. She's always been great at listening to the calls on Mondays. So she does a recap on our coach page. So people that can't listen to it, she puts all the notes in there, which is awesome for them to just go in and read that. That's been very helpful. I try to post in my coach page a few times a week. Sometimes like one day I'll have like 5 things in there, and then like 3 or 4 days will go by and I'll be like, shoot, I haven't posted in there yet. But I try to stay on top of all the current stuff and get that stuff into the group. Because sometimes I just think like everybody automatically knows this stuff and they don't. So just trying to share everything that I know with everyone. I think that's all I got. I will definitely share like the guidebook and my letter that I send out to them, and anything else that you guys want to see. I'm an open book.
That is such a good idea. Well, hang on. I just took like pages of notes, so give me a sec. Your graph sounds awesome.
I love it. It's helped so much. Because I've had like 5, 6, maybe, I don't know, like 8 people that have kind of been lingering on. Like they've never, in the beginning, I was always like, yes, I'll let you in. I'll let you in. I'll let you in. Now I'm all about, I'll let you in, but you need to switch to me. Like you can't be working with 2 different coaches. But then they're in there, and where it's not a group that ends anymore, it's open. Yeah. It's like, okay, do I just take this person out? So now it's so nice to have the graph and like send it to them and be like, hey, you have fallen in category 1 for, because we just started with this graph for a few months now, like it, do it in a nice, gracious way, but it's so awesome to have.
Well, plus it kind of, because I mean, it can be a little bit awkward to like approach someone and be like, hey, listen, like,
yeah,
I'm not trying to say I'm not happy to give my, help for free, but
yep,
this is for you and for me. Like we need to, advance this relationship, and having it visually like that is such a good way to do it. Cause then you don't have to like, well, maybe you still have to explain it to some people, but it's just.
Well, I had just somebody this week respond on one of my things saying, can you add me? And she's been somebody that's been in the groups before that I took out that like as a freebie, like she already owns a program and she's never bought anything. So right away I could send her the graph, and I sent her a voice message saying, hey Jen, like, how are you? Like, I would love to have you back in group. I'm like, since you've been out, my team's created this graph. I'm going to send it to you now. You can see that you've fallen in category 1 in the past. If you'd like to move forward and you really find value in our groups, I'd love to have you, which option would you like to choose? And she was like, I can't do that at this time, but I totally understand. Like, thank you. So it wasn't awkward.
Yeah. And it's smart, and it makes sense. Like, for them even, not just for like us coaches, but like for the people that were helping.
Yeah, because they don't know too. Sometimes they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then having the ongoing free group, I right away was able to say to her, I don't like to say no to people though. So I have this ongoing free group. Would you like me to add you to it? And she was like, absolutely. So she's in that now. Yeah.
Awesome. And yeah, I love.
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Like between your free, like what's the big differences between your free challenge and your paid challenge, I guess we'll say?
The paid challenge, everyone's, for the most part, drinking Shakeology, everyone's doing a Beachbody workout, clean eating. The free group, like next week, I'm doing a sugar detox group. So I'm just going to educate them on the dangers of sugar. And, I'll probably put like a meal plan out. I don't have this all together yet. I'll probably put a meal plan out, but I'm not going to provide recipes and shopping lists. Like it's just too much work for a free group. But put like a meal plan so they can get an idea of like what a nice wholesome menu would look like. And I'll just give maybe 2 or 3 tips throughout the day. I'll talk about the importance of water. I'll give there's some great YouTube videos out there about the dangers of sugar. And there's great graphs out there, like how much sugar is in soda and that kind of stuff. I do a lot of free clean eating groups where I do provide the menu, meal plan, and recipes and educate people on what clean eating really is, because a lot of people don't know. I've done like a core challenge group. So they're just quick little 5-day groups that, I don't put a ton of time into, but they get to see the value of what our other groups, have to offer.
Do you have like a handful that you recycle?
Well, now that I'm doing the ongoing group, I can't really repeat because the people are in it. I did a ton of clean eating. I would change the menu up each time, but a lot of the, the post, like the water post, like a lot of that stuff kind of was repetitive. But the menu was always different.
But I think that's still helpful for like the new people that come in too, if they haven't, like if someone comes in now for your sugar detox, but they haven't seen the one before, like it's helpful to still repeat things every once in a while. And there are certain topics that like I constantly need to be reminded of. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure, other people.
Yep.
But that's really cool. And then, so there are 5 days. Do you run one each week or like 2 times a month or once a month?
I did do 2 straight weeks back to back. And Liz and I, like Liz has her own group too. And we were doing like the same thing. So she would take a day and then I would just go in and like copy and paste hers into mine. So it wasn't as much work. She's actually doing the sugar detox next week too. Like when she took a poll, that's what her people said too, was sugar detox. So we'll probably feed off of each other, which is really nice to have. But I did take a week off in this past, actually, I think maybe even 2 weeks. I said I would be back in a week and then I didn't have my stuff together. And I was like, yeah, I'll be back in 2 weeks. So, but to me, I'm like, it's a free group. Like,
right.
I can break rules.
Oh, I love that. And
I'm trying to do every other.
Yeah. I actually just wrote that down because that's like a really good way to like educate people. If they were behind, they have time to catch up before the next one, or more time to implement it and stuff like that.
Yeah, because everything's in there so they can go back and look.
And I love like your Challenger album. Like that's such a good idea, except, and this is where I'm like, I don't know everything about Facebook either. So like there's a Challenger album. So how would they put it in the album? Does that make sense?
So we have the group closed. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I can actually I can share it.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I can see you and I share computer. Yell. We close down coaching to the wall with over 200 people. It just gets way too overwhelming. So we tell them when you're ready to post your picture in the album, let us know and we'll put it up for you.
Okay.
My computer is the floor door. Sorry.
That's okay. Mine does this too.
Mhm.
So for your groups, do you change up the name or do you just keep them the same?
We have this called Fit and Lean 2017 for the year, but see where it says 424 to 523, we just changed the date each time.
That makes sense. It's a pretty cover photo.
Oh, I love it. And you do that in Canva?
Liv did that. I'm not sure what she probably. We're like all about Canva on our team.
I like it. It's fancy.
Under albums,
Okay.
so here's the coaching staff introduction,
That's so cool.
and then the challenger introduction, and then a transformation one too that people can go and put their befores or their before and afters next to each other.
That's awesome. And add photos. Okay.
Yeah, so then
That
you
is
just
so cool.
click on a person, and then their little bio comes up.
And then that will just post in the group like a regular post, right?
Yep.
That's such a good idea.
Yeah, it will come on the wall, and then people just comment on it. See, like this person here says, "No way, small world," so they like have some kind of connection.
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah.
I like the idea though of like them introducing themselves.
Yeah.
That's really cool. What else did I star? I starred like a lot of things that you said. Oh my gosh. So I loved when you said you haven't had any negative feedback, so it's all in your head. And like that is so me too. Cause like I haven't had anyone like,
Right.
you know, say anything mean to me, at least not to me, maybe behind
Yeah.
my back, but whatever. But it's so true. Like you hold yourself back from doing so many things because you're afraid of any negative feedback, but like it's not even happening. And if it happens, so what?
Right.
But I love that you said that in that way because that is just so true. So true. Does anyone have any questions or anything you want to comment about that she shared? This was so awesome. Thank you so much for doing this.
This was absolutely phenomenal, and I can't wait to re-listen to this recording. I didn't take notes this time. I wasn't at a place where I could, so I am definitely going to do that. This was such a great call. You have so many great ideas.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for sharing.
It's a total team effort. I can't take all the credit. It's a total team effort. Everyone has like ideas, and we just implement them.
I know, and I really like that because we've tried like challenges like that with the team, and we go same thing. We go back and forth wondering like, is it too many people? Like, is it confusing? And is it hard because like people come to you because they want to see you, but then these other coaches are posting, and it's like there's so many like crazy things that we come up with in our minds, but it's so true that like it's helpful for practice for people. It's more comfortable. It's not as time consuming because you're not the only one posting all the time.
Yep.
And other people in the group might relate to somebody else, or like someone else might share something that you wouldn't have. So that's, I mean, I don't know. There's so much, like I might talk to my team again and see if maybe we want to do that again. Cause
I love the ongoing group.
And then it's ongoing. Like you don't have to worry about recreating it all the time.
Yep.
And add like, you know, taking people out of one and in another and all that.
Yeah. And like the guidebook is there. The top 10 is there. You don't have to keep posting that stuff over. We do a new menu meal plan. We always do a 5-day meal plan recipe and shopping list. And every coach like takes a turn doing it. So by now we probably have like 6, you know, different ones up there because we've had this, we've had this ongoing since January. So probably have 4 different menus in there. I think it's great. A lot of people follow it, or at least take a couple things from it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think it's important. I've heard other coaches say like that's what the Beachbody website is for, but I just think it's more personal. Just adds value. I don't know. I won't, if like another coach isn't going to do it, I'll come up with another one. Like, I just think that's like my thing. Like, I think it's important to have it there. It's only a 5-day, meal plan.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a really good point. And yeah, that checklist or whatever, that guide sounds awesome. So if you wouldn't mind sharing like those, like the guide and the letter, that would be amazing.
Yep.
Yay. Anyone else have any questions or anything? All right. Well, oh, hang on. What were you saying?
I just took a lot of notes.
Yes. And it was so good to see your face. Yay.
Being here. I'm glad I was able to make it today.
I know, me too. What a good call for you to be here for too.
Yeah, too bad. I was thinking too bad Katie missed it.
I know. She must have got caught up with something, but that's okay. We'll share the recording. And Carrie, I can share it with you too if you want to share it with your team as well.
Sure.
So awesome. Well, seriously, thank you so much for taking the time to share all these awesome tips with us. So many amazing ideas. So we really appreciate you being so willing to share with us.
Thanks for asking me.
Of course.
Thanks for my team for coming on.
I know, it was nice to see you guys. All right, well, have an awesome night.
Have a good trip.
Thank you. I'm so excited. Yay! All right, bye guys.